Good morning.
Hey, Desperate Housewives super fans. Welcome back. I'm Christy Gomez.
I'm drunk.
And this is We Know What You Did.
It makes us sick.
We're going to tell. Right off the bat, like, I think my moment of desperation right now is that Summer is really genuinely drunk right now. Like, this isn't a bit. We were supposed to record like an hour ago, but she was out drinking instead, because I think she's done a downward spiral. What a great second episode to put on YouTube. And I'm also, you guys, in my Mark Cherry Universe sweatshirt.
This is going to be so funny when I have to edit this, and I'm going to say, oh no.
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh no, 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 no. So what was your moment of desperation?
We're kicking it off with me.
Well, I think it's obvious what mine is.
Let's start with you, please, because it's like the elephant in the room. I simply I can't have you in this state right now and have you not fully explain to our amazing, incredible, talented listeners what's going on right now. So, Summer, why are you blasted and an hour late to our record?
First of all, it's 10:08 p.m. in New York City. And when I got cut from work, that means they said, hey, there's not enough reservations to justify paying you today, so don't come in. Also, I didn't work last night, and also I'm not working tomorrow, but I am going in tomorrow for dinner, so it should be fun. So I was kind of disappointed because, I really need to work, but then I said, you know what, it's fine. I will just take my laptop, and I'll go sit at a bar, and I'll have a glass of wine, and I will drink my novel. And so...
Drink your novel?
You know what I mean. I'm like, okay, I'll write my novel.
Okay.
So I am sitting there and I didn't write a whole lot. I was really, really trying. And then I got a DM because I had posted on Instagram that I was, drinking naturally, which I do a lot. So I hope nobody's concerned about that. But I got a message from this man who, well, yeah, he's now a man, but he was a boy when he was my first boyfriend. He was my first boyfriend when I was 16 and he was 17 and we were in high school. And he just said something about my drinking, and not about my drinking, but he responded to my story. And I was like, I just burped. I have to cut that out. And so he said that he was out drinking somewhere, and I was like, oh, cool. And then I said where I was, and he was like, oh, I'm actually around the corner from you. And I was like, you know what? Come say hi. And then for 7 minutes, he left me on red, and I felt so stupid because I was like, oh my God, this person that I genuinely haven't thought of in 12 years, left me on scene. Which is so embarrassing. But then he did answer, and he was like, oh, I'm finishing up here and I'll pop by, if you're still there, I'll say hello. When I tell you, we sat together for an hour and a half. He bought me 2 gin and tonics, and we had the loveliest conversation. And he's married now, he's doing well, he has a job he really likes. And I was filling him in on my life. I forgot to mention the podcast. I feel like I should have talked about the podcast.
Wait, he's married in our age?
He's a year older.
That, that's, literally, that's so scary. Why do you get married before the age of 35? And I'm going to keep upping the age because that's crazy.
No, I know.
We're just kids.
I know. And not to mention, he got married, 2 years ago. Yeah, and... he's so, it was just wonderful to chat with him, and it was such a mature conversation, and, we were both talking about how much we've grown and changed since, I said to him, I have to have a lot of grace for myself because I was quite literally a teenager when I knew him.
Right.
And so there's a lot of, forgiveness that has to be brought into play there, and we just had like the loveliest time, and I was like, please stay in touch. Like I think we should keep up this friendship. You're great. And he was like, yeah, like send me your writing. I would love to read it. And just because like he gets paid to write, and
Wait, what does he do?
he's in marketing, but I think he does like copywriting basically. I didn't fully understand, and I was half a gin and tonic deep when he was talking to me about it.
Yeah.
But it was just like, as I said to you and I said to him, like, not on my 2024 bingo card. Like, this was so out of the blue, and it was just very serendipitous, like a really nice reconnection.
That's so nice. That's so fun.
Well, it was funny because we talked about our first kiss, and it was literally like the worst imaginable. And we were both just laughing about it because we were like, wow, that was actually horrendous. And he was like, kind of like, we were sitting in the back of a car, like a beat up old car that our friend was driving, and our friend's girlfriend was there, like, and it was just like so I feel like it's always awkward, but there was nothing particularly magical about it. It was like backseat of a beat up car, and neither of us tilted our heads, and it was just like closed mouth kiss.
I'm also just picturing you with like when your hair was really like fried, like bleach.
Hey.
I'm picturing you like bleached fried hair and like the printed pants.
That's correct.
Yeah, that's what I see in my mind's eye.
But that's what you're...
And like a really big infinity scarf.
Yes, yes. And that's what you're dressing up as for my party, right?
Here's the thing about dressing up for your party. I want to look good. So I don't know what to wear. Which is why I might just get the shirt that says, how can I make this about me? And I feel like that says it all.
It works for both of us, is the thing.
Yeah. So my moment of desperation, thank you for asking, is work related. Okay, so last weekend, I feel like the last few weeks I've just been like, I feel like that TikTok sound, it's like, then I have to party again tomorrow. And then the next day, I have to party again. And then there's another party. Because you were here. I think what did I do the weekend before? I think the weekend before I had like a Bratterday Beach weekend. And then you were here and we did a lot of stuff. And then my mom was here and I did a lot of stuff. And then this weekend, I went out with my friend Alexis. And I drank 2 drinks and felt terrible the next day when I was like, I genuinely, like, I don't want to drink. I don't like this anymore. I say that every time. And then the next night I was bullied into going to karaoke. So I like all weekend I was just out and I was like, I literally just want to be laying in bed right now and watching Emily in Paris.
Emily in Paris.
Emily in Paris. I'm so excited to go to Paris. But yeah, so
her arms were cut off. Her eyes were gouged out. Her nose was cut off. Her ears were cut off.
okay, anyway, so
do you not know that reference?
I do know that reference.
Okay, then laugh at it.
Ha 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 ha. Anyway, so my friend came. Can we turn it around? So we could. Last week we literally were giggling, cackling for 37 minutes, and I was listening to the episode, and I was like, "We're halfway through, and we have not talked about Desperate Housewives."
Her nose was cut off.
You're kind of giving Squidward when you do that.
Please continue your story.
Anyway, so Saturday, my friend Heather comes over. So we sit by the pool, and then we go see It Ends With Us. So I go to the movie. Did you read book? It's good. It's fine. It's something. Easy read. Easy read is what I'll say. It's a good, like, turn off your brain kind of book. So we went to go see it, and then we went to John and Benny's, the new John and Benny's Studio City for dinner. And I'm on my way, and I'm like, I don't seem to have my sunglasses. And she was like, I don't think you had them with you. And if there's one thing about me, I have my Ray-Bans on me. I don't care if the sun is setting in 30 minutes. I have my expensive sunglasses. And because of that, I have lost maybe 4 pairs of Ray-Bans that I keep rebuying and spending a lot of money because I simply can't take care of my items. So I'm like, okay, maybe I didn't have my sunglasses. Maybe I'm just used to it. Then I get home after the Oaks and I simply don't have them. So I'm freaking out. And I'm like, I can't buy these again. But I'll get back to that in a second. Because then we go to John and Vinny's, and it takes like 45 minutes to get a table because they're like really busy. We're sitting at the bar. They don't have the pasta that I wanted. I feel like Demi Lovato. They didn't have the pasta that I wanted. So I had to go home. And guess what? I couldn't do anything because I got really triggered. No, they didn't have the pasta, so I ordered something else, which was fine. And then we wanted to order, it was like kind of close to closing, and we wanted to order soft serve. And we see the soft serve machine was going down. They said it was broken. But we see there is like one like made soft serve sitting in front of us at the bar. And we're like, okay, we'll ask. Maybe we can just have that. So then we hear the waiter come over to our waiter behind the bar. And he's like, hey, is soft serve still open? And the bartender goes, no. And then he goes, oh, okay. And the bartender goes, well, there's this one. And he looks like he's about to turn to us. Heather and I both go, we'll take it. And he throws it in the trash. That was our reaction. We both gasped. And we're keeling over laughing. Because we just... It was just in slow motion. We'll take it. And he chucked it in the garbage. And we were like...
Oh my God.
He said, yep, this is the last one. Chucks it in the garbage. It was unreal. So then we left, went to the Oaks, realized my sunglasses weren't there, whatever. So the next day, I couldn't sleep because all I could think about was my sunglasses. So I wake up at 10 a.m. and I call AMC. And I'm like, do you have this pair of Ray-Bans? And they say, I don't see anything, but like call back at 1 p.m. So I'm so upset. And I was like, I need time by myself. So I took a drive. I went to Cha Cha Matcha to have a factory reset. If you know, you know. I needed to reset my chakras. And then I was like, I'm going to take a stroll through through Beverly Hills. So I just started walking around. And I did get catcalled by, I think, an Italian 12-year-old in front of a pizza restaurant. It was really something. I was like, he said something. He was like, oh, blah, 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 blah. And then poked his brother or friend, and they were both staring at me, and they were like, oh, blah, 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 blah. Sorry, Italian listeners. And I was like, okay, you creepy little kid. So then I'm like defeated. I'm walking through Cannon Drive or wherever. Did I talk about Michael Bublé on the podcast?
Not yet, no.
I forgot.
I know.
Oh my God, that was going to be my moment of desperation. Should I start over? Oh my God, I can't believe I forgot. So whatever. So yeah, so then I call AMC again. They had my sunglasses. So I drop everything. I'm in Beverly Hills. I race up to Universal City. That's so much driving for a girl like me. But I got them. And that's the story. And guys, I think I've learned a lesson, and I'm going to take better care. But I was all around the city on Sunday. I was a driving fiend.
Now you need to tell us what happened with Michael Bublé.
Oh my God, I can't believe I forgot because I was going to talk about this, and then my weekend was so ridiculous. Yeah, so I went to dinner at Il Pastaio in Beverly Hills. I'm just been a Beverly Hills girl this weekend because my mom wanted to go there specifically to drink Michael Bublé's drink that he has.
Beverly Hills, that's where I want to be.
You love Weezer. That's the thing that you do love for some reason.
One thing about me is that I love Weezer.
For some reason. But yeah, so we're there. My mom's just talking about Michael Bublé's drink. And she's telling the waiter, she goes, I need to try the Michael Bublé. It's just a Manhattan with his whiskey. So as she's saying it, Michael Bublé walks by. And we both like look at each other. And he has like his kid. And then he was like going, oh my God, I don't know what just came over me. I just like felt a cough in my heart.
like that was an exorcism.
No, like, did I just have a heart attack?
How does your left arm feel?
Fine.
No,
but
then
like
you didn't.
I literally felt a cough and I felt my heart go ba-boom.
Freak.
Okay, that was crazy. Whatever. Michael Bublé, I don't know why he came over to us. I think he must have seen my mom like staring at him, but he walks over and he's like, "Hey, what's up?" And my mom's like, "It's you. It's you. You're what I've wanted." And he goes, "Well, I hope not, because my wife and kids are here." And she was like, "No, your drink. I want to order your drink." And he was like, "Oh yeah." He was so nice, like nicest celebrity, so normal, not like Tim Robinson. And my mom, he was like, "Do you guys want to take pictures?" So we took a picture with my mom. I really didn't need a photo. I was like, "It's okay, Michael Bublé." He forced me to take one. So there's a really funny picture of him, like his arm around me, and I'm sitting there like, again, Michael Bublé, if you're a listener, so much respect. I think you're so amazing and talented. I just wasn't feeling my best, I feel like Chappelle Rowan being like, "Is this a random person wanted to take a picture with me?" And I say no. I mean, that was literally me with Michael Bublé. But yeah, he was so nice. I was like, "I don't want my mom to order this drink because I don't want to drive home." And he goes, "Oh, there's barely any alcohol in it. Like, don't worry." So we're like riffing, we're having a blast. So he leaves, we have our dinner, and then he comes back with his wife, his family, and he's like, "This is my wife, and these are my kids." What? "Hey, Michael Bublé's family." And my mom's like, "When are you going to perform again? I want to see you perform." And he goes, "I'm actually an actor who sings. I'm an actor. He starts talking about all of his projects he wants to do. Literally, he sounds like us. And then he goes, he turns to walk away. And he goes, "My daughter works at Disney." And he whips back around. And he goes, "Doing what?" She goes, "She's in casting." And he goes, "But where at Disney?" And I was like, "At the studio." He goes, "But where at the studio? The studio's really big." And I was like, wow, not me telling the listeners what my job is now. I was like, I handle like live action and animation. He starts pitching to me, telling me that he really wants to be. I don't cast. I like affiliated with casting, but I'm not a casting director. And he just starts telling me how badly he wants to be a voice actor at Disney. It's all he's ever wanted. He got married at Disney. He goes on Disney vacations all the time. He loves Disney. He just wants to be a Disney guy. I said, "Listen, I don't have this power." And he goes, "But please tell somebody who does that I really want to work."
What?
I was shocked. Michael Bublé, listener, I love you. Literally, let's work together. Let's do this. Disney, Amy Astley, Alan Bergman, Bob Iger, Kevin Feige. I know you guys all listen. I know you're listeners. Get Michael Bublé a job. Please. He's so talented. He's so cute. And I told him, I was like, I wanted to be a performer. And he goes, "Well, performing sucks right now. Don't do it." I was like, "Okay." But I was like, I wanted to be a performer. But like, I love moments like this. I love performers sucking up to me. This is amazing. And he was like, "Okay." I was like, "This is incredible, really. Like, this is what I live for." So.
It's what I live for.
It's what I live for. I used to pray for a moment like this. What's that song? Oh, no. I used to saw a lifetime. What is it?
When the most special gift, I can't believe it's happening to me.
Okay, not Trevor saying he likes my singing and you trying to outsing me.
Some people wait a lifetime. Can we please go into the episode? I need to go to bed. I'm so
No,
drunky.
I do too. I know. Well, this is good. It's better not to go to bed drunk, so it's better to get it out.
Is that real?
Yeah. Coming from an expert. Okay, so this episode is season 3, episode 2, called It Takes
Two. This was such a good episode.
I was so happy. I literally watched it last night, and I went to bed thinking about how happy I am. We are so back. So it starts off, Bree's already fully getting married. Writer said, let's get this woman married off. So she is being kind of a bridezilla, and of course the girls are her bridesmaids, and the dresses are really ugly. And Bree tells all the girls, like, gives them jobs to do, and they look at Susan, and she goes, don't worry, Susan, I'll think of a job for you. And all I wrote here was summer core. Because I can just imagine, like, Hannah getting married, or, like, me, and you, like, I don't think I'd give you a job to do as a bridesmaid, respectfully. Because
no, that's probably for the best.
I know you'll mess it up.
Yeah.
So
that's why I aim to keep everybody's expectations of me incredibly low.
So then Bree walks out of the room, and they immediately talk about the Orson accusations. And they're like, listen, we got to tell her. We got to do something.
Yeah, because they're like, oh my God, like, Orson could have killed his wife. Like, big deal. Then we see Gaby and Carlos at divorce mediation.
And yeah, that's basically kind of it. The lawyer's like, hey, you're bringing a child into this world. You gotta do better.
And then my note says that Nora is going away with some loser freak named Turk. So she's supposed to go on this, like, romantic weekend getaway with him, and Lynette is all for it. She is like, get this woman out of my life. Let her be obsessed with Turk so that she's not all over me and Tom.
Again, like, this just made me think of us, because this is so me with you, because I'm like, yes, I don't care who these men are, but they exist, and they're real, and they're here, so, like, I love them.
Yeah.
Like, I was cracking up with Lynette's whole storyline, because I was like, no, like, I see you, I feel you, I hear you, I get it.
You are valid.
You are so valid right now. Tom's like, I don't want that guy around my girl, and Lynette's like, I don't care, and I'm like, girl, so true. I see it. I see you.
Wait, do you know what I just... Oh, man. You know when your house is, like, filled with the smell of cat food?
No.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
No, I don't. No, I literally don't.
You're like, I've never been there. Like, I keep getting whiffs of it. Like, where is she? Well, I don't know where she is, but she's definitely left some food on her plate, because it's rank.
Oh, well, I think because maybe I live in a really big apartment. Like, my apartment's really just huge and large and 2 bedrooms, so I don't smell it from where I'm at right now.
A large apartment for a large girl.
Those are fighting words. That was so crazy. Guys, when I'm in Fairview Institution, you'll know why. Oh my God.
A big boy for a big girl.
Wow, drunk summer does not come to play. Oh my God. You're so lucky I'm feeling skinny these days. Jeez. So then Susan and Ian are at dinner, a romantic dinner, and they run into Jane's parents, and Susan does not introduce herself, Ian does not introduce him, and it's just awkward. And then Jane's mom is like, hi, nice to meet you.
Yeah, I don't think the parents were British, though.
They definitely weren't, no. Jane.
And so Ian says that Susan is a doctor so that it doesn't look like he's on a date.
Not just a doctor, one of her neurosurgeons.
Yeah, like a big deal brain doctor.
Yeah.
And Susie Q, sweet thing. The parents start asking her about Jane's brain scans, and of course, like, Susan has to just lie. She has no idea what she's talking about. She's so me.
Because they also say, they're like, oh, we thought you were at this publishing house. And she goes, oh, wouldn't that make more sense? But no, we had to go with neurosurgeon. Ian's on my nerves already. I don't like this guy.
I do. I
But
feel for
my
him.
impression is so on par. Susan Jane's parents are coming in here.
Yeah. Yeah, like...
Hello, this is Susan. She's on Jane's neurosurgeon team.
After I watched this episode, I realized how accurate your impression was.
Yeah. And you tried to tear me down.
Ow!
Joe Rody.
Joe Rody!
So then Bree and Orson are dancing in the living room. I guess practicing for their first dance, because it was like, what's going on here? This is kind of weird. But they're just talking about the accusations, and Orson's like, don't worry about it. Like, don't even worry. It's totally fine. At least Bree is like, okay, like, something's a little off.
Then we get to the cops, and the cops are talking about the woman's body that was found, and they're like, hey, all her teeth have been extracted.
Yes, and that doctor is played none other than Rick Fitz, who is one of my mom's friends. I know that guy.
Oh, that's cool.
Pretty well, actually, yeah. So then Nora is crying on Lynette's porch because, what is his name? Turk, like, abused her, like, threatened to hit her or something.
Yeah, they got into this big fight, and Nora's all upset, and Lynette is trying to, like, encourage the relationship, and Lynette's like, okay, but he didn't hit you.
She's like, no, but, like, he almost did, but he didn't. That means something. She is like, she does not care. Lynette's, like, feminism has gone out the window in this episode. She's like, I don't care what happens to this woman. I don't care if she becomes a victim of abuse. I just want her away from me. And you know what? Happens to the best of us.
Kind of interesting that we're seeing this episode while all the Blake Lively drama is going down.
Why is that like, what, how does that correlate at all?
Because, like, the whole thing is about, like, Blake Lively not talking about or, like, caring about the theme of DV in the movie. And Lynette is, like, not... She's like, oh, well, he didn't hit you.
Here actually are my thoughts on Blake Lively.
Oh, boy.
First of all, okay, some of her interviews have been, like, a little weird. I think she just... I've heard she's not nice, but I think coming from an industry insider and knowing how these things work, I feel like her kind of... And seeing the movie and reading the book, I think her, like, kind of dodging questions and not wanting to promote this as a domestic violence movie is correct, because this movie is not about... It is not about domestic violence fully. Like, she's not being abused the entire film. Like, that's just not what it is, and that's not what the book is. It's about, like, a relationship that turns into that. And it's not glorifying it. We talk about this on the podcast all the time. We need to have difficult things in media. But I think marketing a movie specifically saying it's about domestic violence will turn away a lot of people. So you need to have it a little bit broader, which was probably a studio note. And she's just following along. Like, that's how these things work, you guys. So I'm just saying.
Yeah, but I don't like her mean girl, like, your little bump. Like, that really rubs me the, like, worst way. And then when that one interviewer was asking her about, like, how people who have been affected by that might, like, approach her in the street, and she was like, well, do they want my location? Like, should I location share? Weird. That was insane. And for a minute, I was like, did she not understand the question? But, like, how could you not understand the question?
That was weird, but also I don't like it when the internet decides to fully villainize a female celebrity. Like, just because she's a couple questionable interviews, it's like all of a sudden the mass thinking turns on somebody just based on a few, like, a couple minute clips. And I don't stand for that anymore. Same thing with Jennifer Lopez. She has a few weird clips and people are like, oh, we hate her now. We hate her. And I'm like, hey, have you guys ever done that with a male celebrity? Just asking.
I don't know. But do you think that you feel any type of way about Blake Lively because she's friends with Taylor Swift and you have a loyalty to Taylor?
No. I think Taylor even saw the bad press because she didn't post about it. It ends with us.
Oh, okay.
Because there are some people, like, oh, I'm trying to think of people who Taylor Swift hangs out with who I don't like. Lena Dunham. I can't stand that lady.
Wait, why are they friends?
I don't know. They've been friends a long time. She's annoying. Can't do anything right by me. But yeah, I just think, like, again, we don't know these people personally. I'm so sick of the internet just, like, blasting on celebrities.
Lena Dunham could cure cancer and you would still hate her.
Okay, again, I don't, like, hate her, but she's not, like, somebody I'll, like, go up to bat for. I just have to be different. I don't like seeing the internet go against a woman. Again, when this is a movie about a woman being abused, also, kind of.
Yeah, but what if she is a bad woman?
I haven't heard the best things behind the scenes, but still, I'm like, I'm not doing this. I just think it icks me out seeing people, like, mass opinion change, like, overnight because of, like, a Twitter hate thread.
So then Edie is awoken in the middle of the night by a loud sound. There's, like, a clanging sort of sound. And she goes to investigate, and guess who it is?
It is Austin, her nephew.
AKA Scorpio Josh.
I was so excited to see him because, you guys, I don't know if I've ever fully said this on the podcast. I think I was waiting for this. But Josh Henderson, aka Austin, is the reason why we started this podcast. Because I ran into him at a bar once and I, like, couldn't place him. Like, I knew his face. We're gonna have to DM him. We need to get him on the pod. I'm gonna DM him later. I couldn't place him, but, like, I knew he was somebody. And then he walked up to me and he was like, "Love your jacket." And I was like, "Thanks." And then he was just like, whatever. And then he came back around again and we were chatting and I was like, "You look really familiar," and I don't know why. And he was like, "Oh, I was on Desperate Housewives." And I go, "When? I've seen that show 8 times. I don't remember you." And he was like, "I played Edie's nephew. I was on for the entirety of season 3." And I was like, "Oh, you were on Desperate." I thought he was going to say, like, "Yeah, I was on, like, 1 episode." I'm like, "No." I was like, "No, you weren't." But anyway, Josh Henderson, I apologize for being mean to you at the bar. Will you please come on the podcast? But I like him. He's cool. He was nice.
Yeah, and
he's literally, I cannot believe me going out one night started this podcast.
A butterfly
effect. And I texted
effect.
you and I was like, butterfly effect. That's what I'm thinking of. Invisible string.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God. And then I saw, I think it was the woman who plays Orson's mom. I saw her randomly at a bar, but I didn't talk to her. And after seeing her too, I was like, wait, why not just do a Desperate Housewives podcast? Anyway, so Austin's in town because he had a fight with his mom's new boyfriend. He was beating... This is the domestic violence episode.
Yeah.
He was being beat up by his mom's boyfriend, so he went to go stay with Edie.
So Edie brings him into the house, and they kind of just chat and share a beer. And then the next day, we see Gaby in the living room doing yoga, and Xiaomei comes down the stairs, and Gabby's like, "Why are you out of bed? You're supposed to be on bed rest." Meh, meh, meh.
And then Carlos comes over with an olive branch, which is Mama Solis's pearls that she wanted in the previous scene. And he's like, "What is she doing out of bed?" And he goes, "She should be in bed. That's not good for her." And Gaby goes, "It's not good for the stairs either."
No, Gaby had a lot of, like, really good one-liners this episode.
No, she was great. Also, I love the blonde.
What blonde?
She has blonde hair.
What are you talking about?
Gaby, Eva Longoria is blonde in this season.
No, she's not.
Yes, she is.
No, she's not.
She's a tone of blonde for her skin tone, but yes, she's very blonde.
So, yeah, Carlos gives her the pearls, and in exchange, she says, "Hey, you can come to Bree's wedding reception. We're having it here."
And then Susan is with Mike.
Thank God.
James Denton literally just laid there for this episode. If that was even him, he was kind of giving wax figure a little bit.
Help?
And Ian brings her flowers, and she's like, "Hey, like, I don't think that we should date. I think we should just be friends. I'm not ready." And he goes, "Well, if we can't be dating, then we're nothing." Which, manipulative.
Actually, she said that.
Oh, then she's right. No, because he was like, well, I can't be your friend then. And she was like, well, then we're nothing.
Yeah, but that made me sad because, like, he's just sweet and he likes her. I just wrote, like, come on, Susan, because the thing is, he can't help his feelings. He likes her.
Yeah, but
Ian loves Susan.
And Susan loves Mike.
Mike, I know. And Mike loves Susan. How come everybody loves Susan?
Because Susan is... I like Susan. I don't know why there's a hate train on Susan.
No, I know. I agree.
I like that crazy girl. And then Julie is outside and she meets shirtless Austin. She's like staring at him for a second. And she's like, get away from me, you Looney Tune.
Get away from me, you freak.
Get away from me, you six-packed freak.
Yeah, and she knocks him down a peg and she's like, you're not that hot. And then she walks away.
Kind of love her.
She's
amazing. She said, I'm humbling you.
Yeah.
He needs to... For real.
He needed to be served a slice of humble pie the size of the Empire State Building. I think I'm actually going to throw up. Like, I feel so awful.
Do you want to go throw up really quick?
No, it's fine.
Okay. Then Lynette and Tom are arguing because Lynette is trying to fit Nora into the seating chart to the wedding. And Tom is like, why do you want Nora at this wedding? And Lynette's like, because there's going to be so many single men. She's like, I need to find her a boyfriend quick. I need to get rid of this woman. And he's like, no, you can't put her there. Like, they can't. I can't put her with these guys. It just reminded me so much of you know who.
Then Susan goes out on the porch and she sees Orson knifing the cans off the back of a car, or I guess his car, perhaps.
Does look a little bit evil doing this.
It does look a little insidious.
Yeah.
And I just laughed because of like the attention to detail, because it says like the Eagle State on the license plate, and that just makes me giggle sometimes.
It just, New York City is insidious and Alexander is penniless. Oh, that doesn't mean I want him any less.
And part of the
What?
I don't feel good. Part of the problem is that I went to go get fries after to like sober up. Like
From
I thought it would
Smashburger.
Yeah, well, from Butter, and I thought it would soak up the alcohol, but they gave me cheese fries, which I don't actually like.
Hey, couldn't you say I didn't want cheese fries?
I didn't know until I got home.
Oh. Sucks. Then Susan goes to see Carolyn Bigsby, clearly very soon after, because she had curlers in her hair, and she couldn't even get ready. She just shows up to Carolyn Bigsby. And Carolyn basically tells her that she's at the bank and basically tells her that there was no DNA in the house because it was spotless clean, and that's why he's not a suspect. And also there was no body recovered.
Then we are at the church. Susan is telling the girls about what Carolyn told her at the bank. She's obviously very concerned. The one thing I took away from this scene was that Susan had her hair in rollers all day, and it is like pin straight.
Wait, I didn't notice that.
Yeah.
Maybe maybe she has like naturally wavy hair like me, so she like puts it in curlers at night just to like straighten it so it looks good.
And then while Susan is divulging what happened, the Reverend goes in to see Orson, and Orson is like, hey, like, are we getting started? And the Reverend is like, oh, the women are still like doing their thing, you know how they are, like they're fussing over their makeup. Smash cut to Bree talking about Alma's disappearance and the suspected murder, and she's mad. She's very upset.
That was perfect. I loved that scene. I loved that cut. It's like, hey, women can talk about murder too.
Women are multifaceted.
Yeah. The duality of woman.
Sometimes they throw up.
Okay. And then
I've never had alcohol poisoning.
I don't think you have alcohol poisoning.
Okay, then why does my head hurt?
Because you drink a lot of alcohol and probably you mix Chardonnay with a gin and tonic. That's sugar.
Oh my god.
That's why you gotta stick to liquor or wine.
Oh, I didn't know that, dude.
Yeah.
Like, why didn't anybody tell me that?
You learn that when you're like 22. at the latest.
I never drank like that.
Okay. Anyway,
I was drinking Malibu Bay Breezes until I was 24.
27.
Exclusively.
27.
Yeah.
So they're like, Bree, like, you have to please put this into consideration. And she goes, I have no doubt in my mind that Orson is not a killer. And then she's at the altar and she goes, hey, Orson, are you a killer? I just need to know. And then he's like, I'm really embarrassed right now. Like, of course I didn't tell you because it's so embarrassing.
Everybody moved on.
Are you gonna take the next scene?
I stayed there.
Dust collected in my pinned up hair.
And then my next note says, dang, the reception is beautiful. Wait. I was crying laughing because Nora goes over to Lynette and she's like, I hate it here. What idiot stuck me at the table with all those men? Oh, I hate Mr. Fatty Hair Plugs, which is just so funny.
She hates all these, like, doctors and lawyers and, like, respectable men. And then Carlos is talking to Gaby and he's like, oh my god, I hate wearing a suit. Bree's aunt thought I was a valet. Then Edie walks in. There was just, like, a lot going on. I love scenes where everybody's together and there's a lot going on.
Yes.
Then Edie walks in with Austin and Edie's like, have you met my nephew Austin? She goes, yeah, sorry. Didn't recognize you without your shirt on. You can just tell she loves this man so much that she can't be nice to him. She's like, oh, hate you so much.
I love enemies to lovers. It's my favorite trope.
Too. But, like, he didn't really do anything. He was like, hey, nice to meet you. She goes, can you put that away? Put your six-pack abs away.
Gleaming glistening is killing me.
Yeah.
Also, so is my alcohol.
Yeah.
So then Susan runs into Ian at the wedding and she's like, oh, what are you doing here? And Ian tries to lie, but it's obvious he just showed up.
Also, Susan, she also goes up to Carlos and Gaby and she goes, hey, are you guys getting back together? Susan, why would you ask that question?
Susan, read the room. My God.
Carlos also answers yes.
And Gaby says no.
But, like, those were all of his friends as well. So why wouldn't he be there? Like, in what world do you go up to a couple getting a divorce and say, hey, you two kids getting back together soon?
Yeah.
Susan. Gaby starts flirting with the waiter who's gay to make Carlos mad. And then Carlos asks the bartender if there's any single women around. And Lynette overhears and she grabs him.
Also, Bree and Orson are dancing. He's very upset that she pulled him aside during the ceremony to ask if he killed his wife.
Tom is also emceeing this wedding. There was so much going on. Tom is the MC and he's slaying and eating. I was like,
No, he was born for that.
No, he should be a wedding and like that should just be his job, a wedding MC, because he was amazing. I was like,
well,
king of the neighborhood, king of Fairview. The MC king of Fairview.
I truly believe that's his vocation, but no, he thinks he has to open a pizzeria.
So then Carlos is twirling around with Nora. Oh my god, the scene of them dancing together and grinding and making out was so incredible. I think season 2 was lacking a lot of physical comedy.
Yes.
I realize that because, like, when you can just have a really funny scene like that and not have, like, too much dialogue, it was so good. And Lynette says, like, Tom goes, you're really going to hell for this. And Lynette goes, I just brought two broken souls together. It was great. Like, it literally filled me with so much joy to see a really good episode of this amazing show.
And then Gaby gets really, really angry at Carlos for making out with Nora and dancing with her. And it comes out that Lynette is the one who did the seating chart, so then they're both pissed. And then Xiaomei wanders in, and her water breaks with an actual audible splash.
I also love that Gaby decided to have this huge wedding reception at her home when she had a very pregnant woman in the house.
Yeah.
Like, Of all places that you could do this reception, like, why couldn't you do it at... First of all, how big is your backyard?
Big.
Like, why, at this point, why didn't you just shut down the street and do it on the cul-de-sac? Maybe at... No, Edie would never would have done it. Do it at, like, the Young house is vacant. Why, Gabby, like, why did it specifically have to be her house when you have a severely pregnant woman upstairs? That was I'm just, like, imagine Zhao Mei, like, in her room hearing, like, doots, 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 and that, like, made her give birth. Like, the, like, vibrations of, like, doots, 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 doots.
Yeah.
She was like, bleh.
I feel like that needs to be a fan fiction. Then MC Tom says something that I found so hilarious. He's like, they wiped up all the amniotic fluid off the dance floor.
No, like, I'm so obsessed with him in this episode. He was so amazing and talented. Then Susan and Ian start making speeches to each other about how much they like each other but can't be together.
And they're pretending that they're speaking for Bree and Orson, but really they're straight up just talking to each other.
And Bree and Orson are really confused because nobody's seen Ian before. He's kind of like, how did he get there?
That's what I want to know.
Your hand. Don't.
Oh no.
It's so funny. It just looks like it's being blocked by the mic. So it kind of looks like a tiny hand.
Wait.
Hold on, I'm sending you a picture. Like, you know those little, like, tiny hands on sticks? It looks like you have a tiny hand on your chin.
Wait, no, because I know exactly what you mean.
No, look at the picture. I'm crying. It
is
looks like a
so
tiny
funny.
little T-Rex hand.
That is... Wait, I actually feel so sick. Can we please finish this episode?
Yes, we're wrapping. So then Gabby's at the hospital waiting for the baby to be born, and Lynette comes over and apologizes. She's like, hey, like, I was in the wrong, which was really nice of her. And also, I loved seeing, like, a scene with these two together, because I feel like we don't get it that often.
Yeah, so true. And then the detective shows up looking for Bree.
And they're like, yeah, we found a body. And then Zhao Mei has the baby, and the baby is simply not theirs, and it's black.
I wrote in all caps, the baby is black.
And I wonder if they just switched up on the storyline and decided that they just wouldn't have a kid last minute because it would be kind of complicated. Because to build up this whole surrogacy thing and just, like, throw it away like that always really annoyed me. I'm like, after all that, but basically the doctor is like, oh yeah, the other one didn't take, sorry about it. And she goes, how, like, that's really insane. How did you inseminate the wrong woman? Jane the Virgin showing up.
What I wrote for the next scene was that showing up to the morgue in a wedding gown is crazy.
Oh my god, yeah. Bree and Orson didn't even change before they go to the morgue. Like, Bree, you live across the street. You could have put on a sweatpants. She would never go out in sweatpants.
A sweatpants.
Like, go up and... like, put on a juicy tracksuit. You know? You don't have to go like that. And Orson's like, that's not Alma. And then Carolyn Bigsby comes in and she goes, what? They think they're just gonna believe you? Orson! Of course they called me! And then she looks at the body and just goes, oh, that's not her.
And then Carolyn and the detectives are kind of like dipping out, and when Bree leaves, Orson turns back and says something in French, and he says the name Monique, and I got chills because I completely forgot about this.
I didn't forget. I just remember him going, Monique. But for some reason in my mind, I heard him say, goodbye, Monique. But he didn't. He said something in French. Then Carlos drops Gaby off at the house, and he's like, well, at least there's no baby, so the divorce will be easier.
My final note says that the outro is chilling, but for the life of me, I can't tell you what I meant by that.
It's just about perfect couples and how everything is not as perfect as it seems, and it ends with Mary Alice. I actually quoted this because I thought it was very Desperate Housewives. It ends with, the perfect couple is the couple on top of the wedding cake. The secret of their success is, for starters, they don't have to look at each other. And I feel like that's just a classic, like, very Mary Alice Desperate Housewives thing to say.
And a very classic Christy Gomez and Summer Moran thing to say is, that is the end of the episode. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. Do all the things we always tell you to do that's in the show notes. We got to wrap this up because Summer is so drunk.
I'm so uncomfy.
Yeah, so, yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
God, I feel like this is the beginning of, like, a biopic when, like, two friends are working together and then one, like, goes off the rails, becomes, like, a drunk alcoholic.
Okay, and which one am I?
The listeners are like, and then it's, like, becomes this, like, whole drama. I can't get her to record because she's always at the pub.
We do need to, I think, separately perhaps talk about the Wicked featurette.
Yeah, I haven't watched it yet, so I'll watch it. I haven't watched it. I've had crazy day, so.
Okay, guys, I'm gonna go throw up 2 gin and tonics and a Prosecco.
All right. And until next time, this has been We Know What You Did.
It makes us sick. We're going to tell. And y'all come back now.
You hate